So I don't know about you guys personally, but me, I absolutely love indie games and AA games. I feel like they are some of the games that have the most soul, some of the most impact, some of the most love, care, and attention to detail. You know, sometimes the smaller the studio, the better. Sometimes the smaller the team, the better. And don't get me wrong, I love my big AAA releases, my big blockbuster games and stuff like that. But those are really more hit or miss for me personally. Most indie games that catch my attention, when I end up following them and buying them and checking them out, I end up having a really good time with them. So I pride myself on loving indie games and playing them and stuff like that. Now, on the other hand, you go pick up modern AAAs, you know, you might be getting a UE5 Stuttergate, you know what I'm saying, badly optimized game, rush content, you know, because they have bigger goals to meet, bigger quotas, and it becomes like they're kind of preying on gamers. Whereas indie devs, I feel like most of the time, they're just trying to get their vision across. So with all that being said, welcome to the channel. It's your boy NextGenNero. Hit that like button, subscribe if you like what you're hearing now. For reviews not full with sponsored, paid for BS takes. So let's get into it. Ball X Pit for me kind of came out of nowhere. Now I usually follow along with indies, watch pretty much every state of play I can to see what type of smaller games and AA games is coming. I watch every ID at Xbox. They do a really good job at highlighting indie games, and just any showcase when it's a smaller team, I'm always tuned in. But for some reason, Ball X Pit is one of those games that really flew under the radar for me. And when it came, I believe the first place I played it was Game Pass. And I was like, yo, this game is absolutely amazing. I went to the store and I seen it was only $20 or $15, right? And I said, yo, this is a steal. So I ended up picking it up on my Switch 2, and I do not regret it. The Switch 2 version is where I spent a bulk of my time, really majority of it. I have 30 hours on the Switch 2 and about 20 hours on my Series X, maybe less, maybe about 15 to 10 hours on my Series X, right? And I loved every hour of it. And I'm kind of breaking one of my rules here, guys, because I usually don't review games until I finish them. And that's kind of been one of my rules, where I'm not going to review a game unless I'm rolling credits. But this game right here, I'm like, yo, it's going to be long before I get this review out. And this team and these people deserve to get their flowers, because this is one of my favorite indie games, period. And it's my indie game of the year for 2025. And I just absolutely love this game, man. It has really fun and addicting gameplay. It don't feel grindy. The little base building they have is really simple, really streamlined, and it's not overwhelming or anything like that. I absolutely love that. You have plenty of characters. You have some really dope stages. And the reason I haven't finished the game yet, funny enough, is because every time I unlock a character, I want to go through each and every stage with that character. So where some people just unlock new characters and unlock new stages and finish all the stages and be done with the game, I'm doing a lot of backtracking. And not only was I doing this backtracking on my Switch 2, right, I was also doing it on my Series X. So I'm backtracking, I'm replaying, and funny enough, right, I'm having starkly different experiences across both platforms, whether it's unlocking different characters first, because I was under the impression we all unlock the characters in the default order, but I realized playing across both of these platforms, like, no, your playstyle and experience is going to be random. You might unlock this character as your second or third character, meanwhile, you know, a friend of yours is on his 8th character, you know, and he still haven't unlocked them. So I think it's really dope. And I also want to highlight, it has a really big update coming, and it's a free update on the 26th. It's adding 2 new characters, I think another stage, and they say plenty more surprises. And once again, this is a free update in a world of just so many games that are slop, so many free-to-play games charging you, nickel and diming you, even games I really enjoy, whether it's Halo Infinite, Battlefield, they still try to nickel and dime you every chance they get. So it's refreshing to buy a game for a cheap price, 17 bucks, and knowing in the future, you know, a lot of these updates and upgrades you're getting is going to be free. So, man, we got to talk about how it is on the Switch 2. For me, it was perfection. At first, it wasn't a Switch 2 dedicated update, but it was still running at 60. It was very sharp. It was very beautiful. As you can see, the art style don't need a high resolution. You know, sometimes art direction is more important than just pure graphical fidelity. And this game is a prime and really great example of it, in my humble opinion. But the game ran absolutely flawless, and I loved it. And then they announced a free Switch 2 upgrade. Once again, a free update and a free upgrade from indie devs. Meanwhile, you know, you got games out here charging $10 upgrades. You know, Sony was the king of that. I think Nintendo has gotten in on it with their first party games, which, you know, most of the time I'm not really complaining about because it just comes with the territory at this point, right? But for this to be a free update, I have to commend them. So on the Switch 2 and handheld, it runs at 90 frames per second, which feels absolutely amazing. It feels like butter. It's a really fun game, man. The gameplay feels so smooth in this game, and it's very addictive, yo. I didn't really have too much difficulty yet, but I think I have like 2-3 stages left. So the stages I have played, I've beaten. I have my favorite characters. The game's still throwing loops at you. You know, the gameplay of evolving your balls and upgrading as you go along never gets old. It's very fun. And like I said, it having an update coming in it's Tuesday, January 20th as I'm recording this. The update will be here January 26th. So, you know, hopefully by the time you guys are watching this video, maybe the update will be here. But man, this game is really fun. It's a fantastic game, man. I love my indie games. I love my AA games. And, you know, it might be about 40, 50, 60, 100 hours by the time I finish this game. You know, something was similar to like Hades 2. So I kind of want to get my review and just opinions out, you know, before this game maybe get forgotten about, if you will. But I don't think it'll be forgotten about, especially with the devs bringing like really good updates and upgrades along the way. I have to tip my hat to this team, man. Ball X Pit. It's on all platforms: PS5, Xbox Series X, and the Switch. The Switch 2 is my preferred place to play it, and I'm considering picking it up again on my PS5 Pro so I can get the platinum. It's been your boy NextGenNero. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.